Oh my lord. Welcome back to the apartment. I'm Asif Ali. This is
Ali Baluch.
And wow, do we have a real special one for you.
Yeah, I feel like this is the first time, this is our first episode together.
In quite a while.
In about a little over a month. You know, our last one was Lord DIY. Welcome back to the apartment. And if this is your first time watching or listening,
What do we do here?
welcome. This is the apartment. This is our chance to sit with our favorite diverse content creators, influencers, musicians, actors, athletes. And we just get to really talk to them about their journey and their work ethic and, you know, their background. So this week we have Caleon Fox.
Caleon Fox.
Now, if you're not too familiar with him, this guy is a rapper, musician, producer, writer,
Comedian.
He does sketch comedy videos. He does great. I feel like he's a director in his own.
He started 2 separate waves.
Yeah,
by himself.
he did. And now he's like a dancer. You've seen a lot of his videos turn into memes. You've seen his videos be challenges. And now we get to really sit with him and talk to him and really find out about his background. A lot of people actually have been asking us to, you know, sit and kick it with him. So I was like, why not? Dude finally moved to LA. So I was like, it's about time.
And we sat down and it was a wonderful interview. We even got him to take his sunglasses off.
Well, he did.
That's how good this conversation was.
What have you been up to, Asif?
Oh boy. What can I get into? Season 2 of TBS's hit show Wrecked.
Hey.
We had our season finale recently.
Congrats.
So, you know, fingers crossed, we're going to
For
get a
season
season 3. I feel really good about that. I also am taping a stand-up show. So we did that. We're doing all the interviews for that over the next month or so.
Yeah.
So that should be on some sort of streaming platform soon.
Yeah. And then I read on some big Hollywood websites that there's a 1 hour, or like what's going on?
A 1 hour goat face comedy special is coming to Comedy Central, baby. That's right.
That's so exciting.
Hassan Minhaj, Fahim Anwar, Aristotle Theorist. We were in a sketch group, for those of you who don't know, back in the day.
I used to watch that stuff back in the day.
That's how we met. And then, you know, we all got busy, you know, working. Hassan got the Daily Show. I became a sex symbol. Like, we all got really busy. And so now Comedy Central was like, hey, we remember all those dope sketches you guys did. Why don't you just do like a one-off hour special?
Yeah.
Especially now in this climate, in this political and social climate, you know, it's ripe for, you know, people of color, and diverse, just like our audience and our people that we interview here, those voices to be shown in the way that we can do it best, which is sketch comedy. So look out for that. We started writing it recently.
Okay. So I'm so excited for this, man. Like, I used to watch your videos back in film school. I used to watch all the goat face videos. And I feel like now with a budget, now that you guys finally have a budget.
Because we did it with $0.
Yeah, you guys did it with like, just, it was you guys were the crew.
So like if you were in the scene and I wasn't, I would be holding the boom mic.
Yeah.
And then if I was in the scene, you would hold the boom mic.
Yeah.
So it was like very DIY. But yeah, look out for that. So I have some things going on. But
That's exciting, man.
right now, I'm on this podcast.
Yeah, but before we start this episode, quick shout out to our sponsor.
Quick shout out to our sponsor, Adidas. If you don't care, why should we? Adidas.
So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Episode 31, I believe.
I believe so.
31, yeah, man. And I was telling Asif and Sumair, I think we've reached a point where...
I disagree, but he thinks that we've reached a point where there's no more diverse content creators. I think that's straight up malarkey.
Not that there aren't any more.
They don't want to work with us?
They just ignore me, man.
No, because it's your approach.
Possibly,
We gotta change the approach.
Like, I legit email everyone, and I have like this app where like...
I don't even answer your emails.
That is true.
So it's just like a different approach.
I gotta keep harassing? I kept harassing this one YouTuber, and he was like, yo, basically like, stop fucking emailing me. That was basically his tone after his... Because like usually, you know, I always follow up. I'm like, hey, 2 weeks have gone by. Want to check in?
Because people don't know, you know, our audience, you know. Yeah. I don't think they realize how hard it is to get.
I love how every day it's like, get this guy, get Tom Cruise, get Will Smith. Like,
it's like when someone will ask me like, be in X-Men.
Yeah.
Hey, be in Fast and Furious, be in Game of Thrones. Like, it's just me being lazy and not asking.
Yeah.
But I'm unwrecked, so that should be enough for you.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, this we're gonna keep getting diverse people for you.
We're gonna
Don't
keep
listen
doing
to this.
it. I'm just saying maybe we bring in
Pessimist.
some non-diverse. I don't know, man. We'll see.
No. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments if we should start getting non-diverse people while there's still diverse people out there that need to be interviewed.
Maybe we gotta get you guys to harass them and
Like a community outreach thing.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. But I mean, enough of this. We can talk about this after. Stop wasting their time. There's a great interview they need to get to. So, guys, here it is, episode 31.
Yeah.
Caleon Fox.
For music and music videos, since you do a lot, do you feel like, you see the same type of like repetitive cookie cutter things?
Yeah.
And then you're like,
crazy.
because you like try to switch it up and you had your little creative flair.
Bruh, what the f is that on your shirt, my guy? Is that Naruto? What you gonna rap about? Yu-Gi-Ohs?
Digimon.
Weird ass Star Wars looking.
Uzumaki hit me, I got the Uzi with me. I'm where them thugs and them killers be. I'm dropping up in that squad, the Fox. I've got Octopops with me and Killer B.
Do you watch it and you're like, I can just do so much better?
I mean, I don't like to compare myself. Like I don't like to talk down on people's craft. Like I'm like, however people go about it, whether they're doing it because they love it or whether they're doing it for money, I don't want to knock it. You know what I mean? And so when I do see it, I'm just like, oh, it's just another music video, So that's why like, I don't know if you noticed, but like for ours, we call it visuals because, and I've seen other people use visual, but the reason why I use visual as like in the title is because when people listen to my music, I want people to visualize the actual, video while they listen to my music.
So it sort of enhances it. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's something about visuals that will really make people more interested in the song even more.
Yeah.
Like when you see a really nice, well put together visual with a song, I'm going to like the song even more.
Sometimes you can even, I mean, I've seen this before, like the song is just sort of just like,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
sometimes you can, like, the videos are so awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you'll hear a song and you're just like, oh, okay. And then you see the visual and you're like, wait, this is actually kind of groovy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I go about it. But yeah, like, and another reason why I call it visuals because when I hear a song, I'll sometimes, depending on what the song is, like, I don't know, it's kind of random how I go about it. But when I hear a song, I'll just automatically see visuals like before it's even made for the song. And so that's another reason why.
Because you see it as like not a song separate and a video separate. You see it all as like a one package kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there certain like people when you were coming up that that inspired your? Because you have a very specific kind of music video style. Where there are certain people where you're like, oh, I like that and that and that and that's.
Yeah, like so I like really quirky, just out of the box type visuals. And I mean, easily iFuture, they're like huge,
of course,
inspiration.
Yeah.
So as far as like just starting off, like seeing them, I'm just like, damn.
Their
like
aesthetic is nice, yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny. The reason why I like them so much is because when I first saw them, I'm like, these niggas are weird. Like I'm not. This is on some old other like negative, yada yada. Because I saw Yonkers first.
Yonkers changed everything.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, actually, I saw VCR Wheels first, but I didn't know that it was Tyler.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is weird, but it's cool. I like the song. Then I saw Yonkers. Then that's when I was just like totally turned off by him. But then I started watching his interviews and just kind of learning more about him and what he's really about. And that's what made me that's what drew me to him because I'm like, oh, he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And he's making fun of like the generic music video type of things. People talk about all this crazy stuff that they don't do. So he's like, why can't I do the same?
Yeah.
He just made it completely more vulgar than
Oh,
the
yeah.
norm is. So yeah, them. Outkast is another inspiration of mine.
Yeah, I don't think they have any boring music videos.
I feel like
don't think they do. I think
Andre
every-
3000 is like one of like just this creative genius. If you just track everything that he's done since the beginning of Outkast, and every video, even from Miss Jackson to Bombs Over Baghdad, and everything just had like from his earlier stuff, everything has like this certain flair.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a group aesthetic, though. I think they both play off of each other.
Exactly.
Him and Big Boy play off of each other very well.
Yeah.
Just as the two of them. So I think all that. Plus, they had like a crew, and you roll with the crew as well. You're rolling 3 deep.
Yeah.
God damn.
But I feel like it adds to your creativity. Like when you and June do your videos
Right.
together, I feel like.
And do you feel like because of like, you know, like those people, like Outkast has like them two, and then they had the whole like Dungeon Family thing where it was like a whole group, and,
Right.
and even like Odd Future, they had a whole group.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see as like a benefit of being in sort of an artistic community kind of thing versus, because you could have just as well been like, I don't fuck with anybody, it's just me.
Well,
I just do this.
It's interesting because that's how it started off. Because I've had my group of friends that I've been trying to get, to do the same thing as I've been doing, and they would show a little bit of interest, but they didn't want to put in the work to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like June and Vila and like the people I'm working with now, they weren't always around. Like I just started working with them not too long ago. You know?
Okay.
And so I got to the point where I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it by myself. Like I literally just set the tripod up. It was annoying to do, like to film the videos by myself.
Yeah.
But I loved it. So I'm just like, this is what I'd love to do. So this is what I'm going to do in order to make things happen.
Right.
And as I was doing it, that's when the people that I'm working with started to kind of just come out of nowhere. Like, oh, you know, met June at a party. Vila's always been around, but him and I just learned that we had the same interests. And so with that, being in a community of people that are on the same page as me, you know, we all work off of each other. We all benefit from each other. We all learn from each other. And it's just cool to get other people's opinion on, you know, things now instead of just my own.
Do you feel like since you started working with people who are in the same, I guess, world as you, do you feel like your content has changed?
In a way, like I think having help, having help makes it a lot more easier to execute the things that I can't do being by myself.
Right.
Like there'll be some stabilized shots that I'm unable to do, or some handheld shots that I need someone to do, and it takes things to a whole different level in comparison to just shooting on a tripod.
Right.
And
you can widen the scope essentially.
Exactly. Like I'm able to do more when I have help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about this the fashion aesthetic you have in the videos and just in life in general?
It's
people at home, this is not a character or an act. He's living this every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
No swag.
And these
It's
things don't
dope.
seem easy to find too. It's really cool, but I mean, you got to put some effort.
Right.
You got to search for these things.
Yeah.
You don't wake up this fly. You know what I mean?
or do you? We don't
Or
know.
you do.
Hey,
I
man,
don't know.
Sometimes I wake up, I'm in the skies like, damn, how'd I get here, bro? That's what I do.
So, I mean, the fashion aspect of what you do is its own, you know, piece of the whole project, you know, the visuals and music and, you know, the outfits. Have you always been into fashion or has that grown since you've
It's
been working?
definitely grown. Like when I was younger, I really didn't care. I mean, I feel like everybody goes through that phase, you know, when they're younger, you know, and I've gone through mine. But honestly, a lot has to do with just like feeling, you know what I mean? Which is like I have my motto, live healthy, you know?
Right.
And so to just kind of go back in time, when I was younger, I've gone through like my real insecure, low self-esteem, depression phase. Like I went through that. And I noticed like, cause I talk to my mom a lot about these kind of things cause she's a therapist.
Wow.
And so,
That's helpful.
Yeah, it makes things really helpful to like, you know, get through the little phases that I go through.
Yeah.
But like we talked a lot about, you know, when I was younger, and I noticed that cause she told me that like I didn't care about my hair, like it was just all over the place. I wore gray a lot, I wore black a lot, and I just did not care at all. And I noticed that as I got older, you know, I've gone through my different phases and experiences, and I've learned a lot growing up to be, you know, where I'm at today. And I noticed that when I deal with those feelings the proper way, like whenever I'm mad, whenever I'm sad, whenever I'm depressed, like I show all that attention. And I realized that once I began to show that, you know, that side of me that needed attention, the attention that it needed, that's when I began to learn more things about myself that I didn't even know of.
Especially as dudes, I mean, we're not you know, encouraged to be like, oh, you're sad, just put that away. Move forward. You're feeling whatever, depressed, put that away.
Right.
So you feel like dealing with it head on, like putting the brakes on and being like, what is the issue here?
It opened a whole different side of me that I did not even know of. Like the whole comedy stuff, the whole no swag, and all of that. Like that all came out of nowhere once I began to really deal with that side of me that needed to be dealt with.
Wow.
So let's take it back to, you grew up in Oakland, right? Did you recently move to LA, or you still go back and forth?
We just moved out to LA.
Okay.
Wow.
What is it, August?
It's August, almost end of August.
Yeah, so we moved out beginning of this month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome.
It feels good. It's tight. It's tight.
How's it growing up in Oakland?
It was cool. I was really reserved, really shy. Like I didn't really put myself out there that much. It was interesting though, because when I was younger, I had like a whole group of friends that I was kicking it with all the time, because my mom was just really cool with their parents, so they were always around. But I don't talk to any of them anymore, just because.
Do you think that was a time thing, or just where you are in life?
I mean, this is before any of this stuff even happened. As we got older, our interests just did not match anymore. Just
ended up going in different avenues.
It was interesting because I had a best friend of mine. His name was Josiah, and him and I were tight, and he moved a lot. He moved around a lot, Oakland to Tracy to Oakland, and then Stockton. It was just back and forth a lot. And then there was just one time where he just ended up staying in Stockton, and I just didn't see him. And Stockton from Oakland is really far away from each other.
It's hours,
Yeah, and so being a kid, it's I can't just drive out there to go see him. I wouldn't even drive out there now. So it was interesting though, because when there was a time where my mom ended up hearing from his mom, and I didn't talk to him for 2 years or so. And we ended up going over there, and when I went over there, his whole, because Stockton is really, it's a little ghetto, because with the gentrification going along, a lot of people that were staying
getting pushed out
are moving to Stockton and Tracy and whatnot, and there's nothing to do out there, so all there is to do is to hang out with those people.
Right.
And so I noticed that just everything about him was just different, and it was so bad that it was awkward just being around him. And that's when I realized, I'm just it's not a bad thing that we don't connect, but it's time for me to move on from what we had, And it just sucked, because he was a really, really good friend of mine. And it was the same with a lot of those friends. And so I think I was around 15 or 16 at the time. And so it was weird, because I also had this fear that I wouldn't be able to have friends. That I can just hit up and just...
It's hard. And once you get a little older, it's hard to make friends as quick as you did when you were in high school.
Because you're around the these people all day.
Yeah.
5 days a week, and sometimes on the weekend. So it's a lot easier to meet people and meet people through people. But then when you're just out. Yeah.
It sucked. It sucked. That was one of my biggest fears. I'm I don't think I'll be able to make friends, true, genuine friends, because... when I was in high school, I didn't have any genuine friends. It was just always oh, I see you in class, and it's what's up?
Acquaintances.
Yeah. And it was really interesting. It was definitely an interesting thing to go through.
Yeah.
At that age. Yeah.
Damn. So what was your family like? Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a brother, a little brother of mine. He's 19. He turns 20 August 28th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
So what were you doing before everything kind of popped off for you? I mean, well, not popped off, but things really when you really got serious about creating content online.
Yeah. What was the genesis from living in Oakland and being this kind of shy, sort of isolated kind of kid, worried about maintaining friendships and things like that. What made you? Have you always been musically inclined to these kinds of things, or was it sort of just a fun thing that you tried?
Well, I started making videos and writing music when I was 12.
Oh, wow.
And I was actually inspired by my uncle. His name is Omega Watts. That's the name he goes by.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because he was not around a lot. He moved around a lot too. He did graphic design, produced beats. He was a DJ, wow. And so he was just went to Florida, New York, Jamaica,
it's a Renaissance
Portland,
man.
California. It was just a lot going on with him. So whenever I did see him, he always had his camera. And there was one time where we ended up staying with him for the weekend in Portland, and just being around his creative space kind of influenced me in a way, and I didn't even notice it. I was just I just remember one day coming home, I ended up finding a point and shoot camera in our garage.
Yeah.
And I just started filming.
So just that energy of being around, you didn't even notice it, but you're like, man, being around this sort of like artistic, a different kind of energy than at that point you had never really been around.
Yeah.
It kind of just rubbed off on you without even it being like a conscious thought.
Exactly. And so like from there, I just started off making like the skits and stuff. I started making little goofy videos when I was with my brother and my little cousin.
Yeah.
Like we had like weird outfits that
right.
I just would say, put this on, and then I'll just do this. And it's funny, there's a video on YouTube that no one will ever see.
Glasses are off. Holy shit.
Glasses are off, man. Y'all not finding that video. I'm gonna put these tinies back on. Yeah, but it started off with that, and I just made a bunch of stuff, little videos that I never put up online, but that was the one that I ended up putting on. And then I really got deep into editing because we had a dog that me and my family were really close to, and she ended up we had to put her down because she had cancer.
Oh, man.
And
sorry.
yeah, and it's all good. That was a really, really hard time, like for me and my mom too, because my mom was like really close to her as well. And just seeing my mom the way she was, it like really brought me down.
Yeah.
And so one day I just got on the computer and I just took all the clips that we had of my dog and I put a video together, and then I showed my mom it.
You made a montage?
Yeah.
Wow.
And seeing my mom react the way she did, because she just started busting out crying.
Oh yeah.
And that's what made me really realize, like, damn, this is the type of impact I can do just by making a video.
Just the effectiveness of video on people, if it's done at the right time or blah blah blah, that kind of thing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, like when you're a kid, like how much more you're perceptive to like emotional changes. If you just live at home, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, I can tell, even if your mom was probably trying to just be chill about it.
Yeah.
But you could tell.
Yep.
You know?
You just sense the energy. I mean, especially depending on how close you are to the person. Like, because me and my mom are really close.
Yeah.
And so there'll be times like I'll just be in my room, and because I'm really goofy and like my energy is like really welcoming and it's really out there. But there'll be times where like I'll just be in, that mode where I just feel really off, and I don't even have to say anything. I could just walk in the house or walk in my room, be like, hey mom, and then she'll like, and then she'll come in and she'll be like, is everything okay? And I'm just like, how do you know?
How do you know?
Like, how do you know that? No, I feel terrible right now. So yeah, it's really interesting. Energy's crazy.
So you started doing videos with your brother and your friends. How many videos in did you feel like, oh, okay, this feels like something I should keep doing. This feels like something that could be bigger for me.
Dancing videos.
Okay.
Actually, it started with the Crank That Soldier Boy.
Okay.
And the Crank That Batman.
People don't realize how many careers have started
It's crazy.
off of Soldier Boy's dancing. People make fun of that dude, but like how many careers has this dude started? Especially in the online community. Maybe not like in the mainstream like musical community, but as far as the internet is concerned, any sort of songs that have dances attached to them, each one of those sort of spawn this sort of whole wave.
Yeah.
And then out of that wave, a couple people will build off of that if they're doing it right, like you and other people, and you can really get an audience, because online, the hardest part is getting that. I mean, getting that initial audience.
Yeah.
And getting people to pay attention and give a shit.
Loyal fan base.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes it's because you don't know what the thing is that will do that for you. So a lot of times for the people, it's like just as easy as that. Like, oh, there's a Soldier Boy dance thing.
Yep.
People watch it and be like, hey, this guy has like interesting things, and little things like that could like start a whole career. So
yeah, and I mean, to piggyback off of that, it's all about, I feel like now it's a little easier to have a video that's viral.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's just, there's so many people on the internet now that
way more.
It's so easy to just grab people's attention, but it's hard to maintain that attention.
Yeah.
Right.
So when it comes to like capitalizing off of something, it's that like what is the reason that people should keep watching Caleon's videos? You know, is he just that one guy that made that one video and that's it, or should I keep keeping up with what he's doing? That's the tricky part.
What do you think how do you think you've been what's your strategy to keep people engaged?
I mean, one thing I've noticed is, so like I listen to a lot of music, and I don't know, I kind of know what's hot, you know, like I'll hear a song that is just completely different, or it could be something that isn't as different. Like it's just I don't know, when it comes to music, I feel like music has been really beneficial for me, because I'll play a song on my Snapchat or whatever.
People will be like, what is that?
What is that song?
So you feel like
That's the number one question in my comments. What is that song? Read the description.
You have like a wealth. Do you feel like you have a deeper wealth of musical knowledge because you've been listening? Have you always been like a big music head?
Kind of. I mean, I feel like it's been there unconsciously, but as I got older, that's when I began to realize, oh, you know, I have a pretty solid ear on what sounds good.
Have you always stuck to like hip hop and R&B, or like is it pretty wide?
Actually, so I mean, hip hop has always been a thing that I've liked, but I like really wavy production. That's what will really catch my ear. And depending that, like, production is first to me, and then how the person delivers on that beat. Right. That's what really draws my attention.
So after high school, what did you pursue education, higher education after that, or did you just get right into work, or was your mom pushing you towards that?
I mean,
it's a doctor.
It's interesting because, so with my parents, you know, they were just the normal, like, hey, so what are you doing with school?
Yeah.
You know, oh, this is probably something that you should do. And when I was in high school, like, I just wasn't a school person.
Yeah.
Which
it's
is
not
normal
for everybody. Yeah.
It's normal for artists. You know, they just realize, like, school is just not. I mean, it was cool, but it's cool to have that opportunity to learn, like, about business and math and science and whatnot. Like, yeah, give me the opportunity, but I don't want that opportunity, you know? And so coming out of high school, I went straight to the Art Institute.
Oh, cool.
Because I only went for a semester.
Oh, okay. You just like cracked open the door and like, all right, I'll see you guys later.
I was just like, for one, so what really turned me off about it was, so, you know, coming from Oakland to San Francisco, the commute, it was just really expensive. Like,
you were commuting?
It was $20
on the BART.
It was $20. Yeah, the BART.
Shit.
It was $20 back and forth, and I was a procrastinator, so I didn't jump on my schedule the way I was supposed to. And so I had classes, I had class Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
For sure.
And
that is a terrible schedule.
It's trash. Tuesday and Thursday I had 8 to 12, and then I had a big gap, and then 6 to 10.
That's how you know you didn't plan your schedule, because I had one semester in college where I did that same thing. And you know, because it's always like your buddy, it's like, what's your schedule like, man? He's like, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'm busy. And then my next class is at 5 p.m. and I have to stay on campus.
It's trash. And
You're
it's
just
like
the guy in the cafeteria.
I'm like, do I stay in the city and just bum it out? Or do I, you know, get big baller and just spend this guap on this ticket to go back to Oakland and come back?
$40.
But that's not even the worst part. So at the time, we were living in the Oakland Hills. So Oakland Hills is like Skyline and Keller.
Yeah.
And that just adds on to like the commute. Like so at the time, so all right, I'm gonna try to tell one story. So the first story, this is what really like turned me off with the Art Institute. There was a project that I had, like it was like a finals project kind of thing, and it was something I had to build. I don't really exactly remember what I had to build, but I had to build it. Right. And I did it the night before. Like I was up all night, like just building it, and I got it done. And
it was like an art piece?
It was an art piece. Okay. Like it was like some type of structure that we had to make. Right. It was for one of the art classes I was taking. And so I was headed to the BART, like in my car, to, you know, get on the BART and head to the city. Right. And I was turning left, and I got into someone hit me from the right side.
Ooh, you got T-boned.
Yeah, and the car, like I had a BMW. Like I don't know the model, I don't know cars or anything, but it was an old school BMW, and it like went up against this curb, and so like basically the car got totaled, but I looked in the back, and my piece was completely
fucked,
smushed.
Oh no!
And after that, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Something is telling me to just give this up. The universe is like, yo, we went out of the way and ruined your project. This is what we think about your project. Yeah. That crappy little turd that you put together.
Sorry. Did you think that this would do well?
Yeah.
We handled this for you. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I had an A in the class and it dropped down to a C-.
Even when you told them I got T-boned?
They were like, "I'm sorry.
Art is art.
Art is art, bro. You should have had that figured out."
Yeah.
And so it just completely I was just totally turned off by it.
You know how you could have gotten an A for that project? Take the crumpled mess and then just put the police report on top of it.
Hey, for real, I didn't think about that.
This is a statement on society right now.
I didn't think about that. That's hella funny.
Hindsight's 2020.
But that was just the half of what like completely ruined my experience. So there was
what put the nail in the coffin for
this
you?
is what did it. So there was this class I was taking. It was like some type of symmetrical blueprint type of class to where you have a blank canvas, right? And there's an instructor, and he's basically telling us step by step, like, all right, you got to do this 1 and then 2 and then yada yada yada. I'm not good with math, and I'm not good with like symmetrical things. And so I was taking the class, and like I'll mess up on step 4 and then he's on step 11. You know what I mean?
Man.
And you have to keep up with him because he's doing it live.
Yes. And so like I just kept asking him like, hey, like how do I recover from this? And he's just like, oh, just ask the person next to you.
Oh, that's the worst.
And so like everyone is just so ahead and I'm still on step 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just remember one day, like I was just on BART just thinking about it. And then like I just got hell of emotional.
Just getting like anxiety and being like, man, I got to go to this class and I have to be behind again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so like I just remember coming home and my mom was just like, hey, you know, how you going? And I was just like, I'm not doing good. And she was like, what's going on? And I just like I just broke out crying because I was just like, Mom, like I can't do this. Like I don't know why I can't keep up with this. Like I'm trying my best. Like I'm going to these tutorials and all that. And I just keep falling behind.
Right.
And that was another thing that I went through in high school, like with math is I always fell behind. And it just completely shattered me, you know? And it was interesting though, because that moment is when my mom and I got like even closer, because that's when I began to start opening up to her.
Gotcha.
Right.
And then to fast forward time a little bit more, she ended up bringing that back up, and she was just like, you know, I was thinking about, you know, that class that you took, and I just wanted to ask you, like, as a mom, you know, I want to be there for you. I want to make sure that you're doing what you want to do, not because you're doing it for me and your dad, you know. So she's like, what do you want to do? And then at first I was like, oh, I think I want to go to school. And she's like, no, like what, just forget about what
she's like,
mom and dad, like what we think, what do you want to do? And I just told her, I was just like, I want to make videos and I want to make music and I want to create this brand that I've always been thinking about, but I was just too nervous to tell you guys about it because I didn't know what you guys would think about it. And she was like, just give that up. Like, just don't think about what we want to do. We're going to support you. Like, I'm going to support you no matter what. And it was crazy because since that day, that's when I realized, like, it was like this burden that just came off of me. And I realized, like, I can do what I want to do. That's crazy. And my mom's going to support me. That's crazy. And that's what gave me even more confidence to do, you know, what I'm doing now.
I mean, that's such a huge gift you have in that, because like a lot of people, they don't have that, like getting into the arts, they don't have that support, and that means a lot, you know.
Exactly. Like, it's a blessing, because I know, like, there's a lot of artists that we go through that, you know. We go through that and they don't have parents to support them, you know. And so it's a blessing that my mom was able to do that for me.
I was gonna ask, but I feel like you kind of touched it on like, you know, if you're because like it seems like you and your mom are extremely close and very open with one another. So was it always like that, you know? Were you always that close and open, or did it just kind of happen after that incident?
Nah, like it was interesting because like my mom always had, like, she was always really protective over me and my brother, you know. But as far as when it comes to like that genuine relationship, like that, you know, mother-son relationship, we didn't have that all the time, because my mom even admitted, she was just like, you know, there was a lot of growing she had to do, you know, that she had to go through for us. And so she went through that growth so that she can not just be there for us, but better herself.
I feel like also a lot of the times in those situations, parents are more concerned when kids are super young about just like making sure that you don't get in trouble, and then you eat food and you don't fail out of school. And then it takes that point where the kid becomes like an adult to where they can sort of just like sit back and be like, okay, now I can actually have like a deep conversation with you.
Well, it was actually interesting because like I said, like with our dog dying, and then me going through the whole school thing, and us living in the Oakland Hills. Like at the time when we were living in the Oakland Hills, we were living at my grandma's, and we literally lived in a corner. Like it was me, my brother, and my mom literally living in a corner. Like we just had a divider.
Oh man!
And it was like even that experience that brought us closer, because we realized like we just learned a lot from each other, and
learn how to work with each other.
Yeah, and going through all those experiences is what brought us together. So it wasn't like a one thing happened and like we're hella cool now. Like no, we like went through stuff. Yeah. And that's what relationships is. Like you have to go through stuff in order to become closer to someone.
It builds, you get much closer, and that's incredible too, you know?
Yeah.
How did she feel when you were like, hey, or what did she say when you're like, I'm making this move to LA?
She was hella happy for me.
Yeah.
Really sad too,
of course,
because it's a bittersweet feeling moving away.
Yeah,
your son moving away, you know, and it's funny too, because you know usually the normal is the parents are like, all right, bye, like you're 18, leave. But my mom was just like, you know, just leave whenever you're ready. And you know, I helped around in the household, like I paid bills. I wanted to make sure that I'm not just some bum.
Yeah, of course.
Chilling on the couch, right? And so.
That's more than I could say when I was 18, 19. I was like...
True. You're like, can you guys buy more chips? What are you doing
Literally.
here?
That was me, man.
I've had homies like that get mad when their parents don't cook.
And I'm like, bro, what is wrong with you, man?
You're like 23.
Yeah. When I first moved out, when I was like... I just turned 21. And my mom was like in dental. So she was very... conscious about like us having soda a lot.
Yeah.
But when I first moved out, I went to school.
You went on a bender?
Dude, I bought like those 24 packs of like Mountain Dew, Sunkist, and that's all I would drink. It was just soda. Because I was like, I'm finally free.
I could do what I want.
And then now,
I mean, I would prefer that as a parent than you doing
that's
like
true.
heroin or some shit like
true.
that.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
He's just going gallons of
so
soda.
that it's the same thing to my mom.
Just jack your teeth up. Jack your teeth
and
up.
then after like literally after that year, I did that for like a full year, and then now I'm like I can't even touch soda. Like I only do water.
You went through your phase.
Yeah, I went through my face. I got it out of my system. Mom, Dad, if you're watching, I don't do soda.
So what does your brother do?
So he is working at FedEx right now, and then he's in school for business.
Okay.
Nice.
And so he's going through his phase where he's figuring things out too.
Yeah.
And like it's interesting too, because him and I used to be really, really close too, but we kind of fell off a bit. But I'm happy because we're beginning to become a lot closer. Like I told him, I was like, coming out here, I'm gonna call you, like, you know, once a week just to check on you, you know. And he was really happy to hear that. And yeah, like I feel like we're building our relationship again, and he's keeping me in a loop more about like what he's doing. And so like I said, he's really interested in business, and he's really good at math too, which is funny.
And that could even be a thing that, like, because I have it with my brother. My older brother's my manager, and so like he did business and that kind of stuff. And sometimes that's like a great pairing. So you know, I mean, if you keep going the way you're going, it could be like a beneficial thing for be like, oh, you should come. And
that is like one of my dreams. I want him to work with me. Like I want him to work with me so much. Like I'm excited to see like how he grows, and just kind of what, you know, being 19 turning 20, I'm just like, he's still hella young. Like I think I'm 24, and I've gone, like, I was 19 5 years ago, and I went through what I went through. So I'm excited to see his growth and kind of see how, you know, he turns out.
Of course. Do you feel like with the music, you know, the way it is and the way you're doing it right now, do you see yourself like long term, maybe like putting out like an EP or something like that, and doing it just like this is alongside that, but then going your own route where you're just doing music? Yeah,
like, well, with the music, I feel like I'm still going through the transition of people recognizing me as an artist in comparison to a YouTuber,
right,
comedian, or whatever type of title they want to put on me. So I've just been kind of trying to trinkle like songs, singles, and then add a music visual for it.
Just give them a taste and see how they react to it.
And then increasing the demand of a mixtape, EP, an album, or whatever. So I've been telling people like I'm gonna be a lot more aggressive with the music.
Yeah, I mean, you're very talented. I think that would be like a great lateral move for you.
Yeah, because that's something I've always wanted to do. I've been, like I said, I've been wanting to do it since I was 12. But when I was 12, I used to just write music. I didn't like my voice at the time. It was really high. But now I'm all, I got the little daddy sexy voice for the hot mama. So, I can, you feel me?
So when you came to LA, you would come back and forth between LA, right?
Say it again?
You used to come back and forth between Oakland and LA until before you really settled in. How did you feel with like the community here, the creative community in LA at the time? Did you vibe with them? Were you able to collaborate with them? Did you collaborate with them and you're like, I don't want to fuck with them? Or how'd you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I read energy really well.
Okay.
And so I can get a vibe of someone that, and it's not always completely accurate, but like I'll get a sense of, all right, are you trying to rock with me because of like I'm Caleon Fox, or you just trying to rock me because like you trying to be cool? Because when it comes to working with people, I have to have some type of relationship with that person. Like I'd prefer to get to know the person and feel out their vibes before we just start working, just because that's how I work. Like I said, I make my craft based off like how I'm feeling. Yeah. And so you could be the dopest artist ever, but if we don't mesh well, then I just don't see it working unless we're forcing it. From my end, you know what I'm saying?
And usually like an unnatural collaboration will not yield the best product.
Exactly. And so, I mean, there have been times where I've met people that I'm like, oh, we completely vibe off the back and that's cool and we worked. And then there's been people that I have met and, we just didn't vibe as well. And I'll just kind of I'll still be around. I'll keep my distance, but I'm not going to work with that person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. And now that you've gotten bigger, do you feel like, there are like more distractions, right? How do you stay focused? You know what I mean? Because the DMs are probably blowing up. So like, how do you stay with the work schedule?
Sometimes, it's interesting because there'll be times where, like I said, I have that off feeling and I just have to just step back from everything, So there'll be times where I'm just like, I just need a week to just not do anything music or video related. And that's what recharges my battery.
Sort of like decompressed kind of thing.
Yeah. And,
because it can be overwhelming.
Oh, it's and like I could get really anxious too sometimes because I'll put this pressure on me. Like, okay, what do I got to do to make sure that I keep people interested, and what do I got to do to top that video? And
that's the thing about the internet. It's like it's just endless, insatiable, just hunger that people have on the internet. It's like if you put out 300 videos a day, someone would be like, put out 302, man.
All the time. Bro, because we used to make 30-second videos because Twitter, that was the limit for Twitter. And people were just like, make longer videos. And so I made a 2-minute video and they're like, no, we need longer. I'm just like, you want a movie? Like, what do you need from me, bro? Because like, this is not easy. This is not something because we take time. Like it's not just, I just pick up my phone and it's like, oh yeah, here's a video. Like,
and I think people watching it fail to realize that a lot of times.
They do. But you just can't give that energy. That's what I've realized. Like, I just don't give that energy. Like, I as long as I'm doing it because it's what I want to do, that's what's going to keep it successful. I don't allow people's opinions to, there'll be times where I'll see that comment and it will affect me. I'm not going to lie.
For sure.
Like, I'm not a robot, but I just, I got to I talk myself through it. I'm just like, you know what? That's that person's opinion. Yeah. And he's not the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. He's not the reason I'm able to live out in LA and I'm as successful as I am. It's because of me. My friends. And so I just tried my best to keep that mindset up. For sure. So I can get through it.
It was funny. We were watching your viral challenge video that kind of went around earlier this year, the In a Dream challenge. Would you guys do it? Were you just like, hey, let's just do this right now?
Literally.
Like,
that was literally what it was.
Yeah.
Like we were filming June's video. Okay. Like he did a video to this Jay-Z song. And we were literally walking back to the car and my boy Zito, he was just like, oh, this is a song you guys should do like sometime. And he played the song and I was like, let's do that right now.
It's a good song.
It's classic, man. It slides. It's tight. It's tight. And so like, I was like, but let's do something different. Like, I was like, Zito, I want you to back up while you're walking. I like walk backwards and film, and we're going to dance and walk instead. And Yeah, it was just literally on the fly.
Yeah.
And we knew it was funny because we kept watching it. Like, bro, this is hella funny.
You know it's good when you can't stop watching your own stuff. You know?
Because every time like we'll see a video and we're like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And like we'll upload it and it goes viral and it's like, oh, that's tight. But nah, that one.
Yeah. Because then you guys did like a part 2, and that was just like you came in with like your squad behind you.
Hella deep.
You know what's cool about that though is like, it's almost like full circle to the Soulja Boy thing. It's like you made your own dance, and like that became its own thing.
Exactly.
And there's probably people who have their own followings based off of their version of that.
Because you just never know who you inspire,
right?
You know, and then that's why, like I said, that's why I try to be that role model for those people. Like, you know, I go through stuff, but you know, I'm human and we all go through stuff. So just go through what you got to go through and then create that content.
Yeah. And then there's that other video that like a lot of people just kind of downloaded, the Now I'm Mad. Like everyone just kind of, I've seen that everywhere.
Y'all niggas could play ball for more than 7 hours. But when it comes to sex, y'all can only last 1 round. What the fuck is that? Like, now, I'm fucking mad. What? I know you're
I gotta tell you, it's funny because I wasn't trying to make that a challenge.
Okay.
It was funny. Like, I uploaded the video as a totally different caption. It was like, I don't even remember what the caption was. It was so long. But people just kept calling it Now I'm Mad. So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's the Now I'm Mad now. And I just saw it as a thing, and I was shocked.
Now, originally, it was about that girl ranting, right? That was the original video.
Yeah.
Okay. And then from there, people just downloaded it and then like took your reaction and put it on everything else.
Well, like, because when I saw the video, I kept seeing it.
Yeah.
And it was funny because that was during the time where I was trying to figure out if I wanted to make that leap into the comedic skits world. Because it was always on my mind. I was like, I don't have my friends to help me.
Right.
But when I saw that video, I was like, I can make this quick little thing real quick. Let me just kind of see how it goes. Got my tripod, and I made it to where I'm the boyfriend and she's ranting at me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, can you film this video for me? And I'm filming it. And I respond like, oh, she's talking about me.
Yeah.
And then with her dancing, I'm like, oh, okay, dance.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
That one, like, that's a meme now, you know? Like, it's a GIF. I see that everywhere, man. It's hilarious.
Yeah. That was a big break for me. That was a huge break.
What do you get recognized for the most?
Like video wise?
Or just in general, yeah.
It depends. Like, I've gotten recognized for my sideburns.
No,
like people.
Really?
Like, I've had people say like, "Oh man, I saw these and I knew it was you." And I'm just like, that's tight.
Yeah.
Because I have no control over these.
That's just how they go.
Yeah.
So where did Caleon come from? Caleon Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's a nickname that I've had.
Okay.
It was Skip with 2 P's. That was like what my friends call me. And
I wonder how you got that name.
How'd you get Skip?
Is it like in an intense way where, you know how like the mafia always has like, you know, this is like Johnny Four Fingers because he had his like fingers cut off.
Oh,
right?
like
there something?
You cut a dude's leg off and you had to skip home, so you became Skip.
Like, so I wanted a nickname. I wanted a nickname because I didn't want to go by my government. And so I went through countless nicknames.
Okay.
Like,
Which is smart because I feel like at this point,
yeah, so the cops can't have
Google me. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So when you get booked, it's like, you know, this is Caleon Fox, aka, and they read every single
name,
also known as.
So what's his name?
Yeah.
But so Skip, that, you know the show Camp Laszlo?
No. Do you know
Camp
this?
Laszlo.
It was
the name is familiar. It's a cartoon, right?
Yeah, it's a cartoon it's basically all these animals, and they are scouts.
Oh, I think I've come across this back in the day.
I love that show.
I do remember this. I do
It's
remember.
a Cartoon Network thing, right?
It was the monkey, the
the elephant,
and the rhino.
moose.
Okay, so these are deep cuts. Okay, so Camp Laszlo.
And so me and my brother were just watching it, and there was an episode about these 2 characters. They were dung beetles, and they were called Skip and Chip. And it was literally on that, like, just the whole episode was on them. And my dad walked in on us watching it, and he was watching it with us. And then I just remember him calling me Skip and my brother Chip. And I picked up, I'm like, where'd you get that from? And then he was just like, "Oh no, you just look like a Skip," and I'm just like, he got it off the show unconsciously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I added the second P because I'm just
you gotta add your own flair to it.
Gotta add the flair.
Yeah.
Gotta reduce the swag.
It's hard to like. It's hard to be like, I want a nickname, but then it's hard to give yourself the nickname because your crew's not gonna take it.
Nobody respects a self.
Nobody wanted to call me Skip for the longest. I had to earn it. I had to earn the right to be called Skip.
How long did it take before it settled in?
2 years.
Oh,
2 years.
Yeah,
man.
Damn.
Like once I graduated out of high school is when, because people at high school were just so accustomed to calling me my government, which I'm not gonna say what it is.
Don't say it
because it's classified.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, do your research.
Don't ask people to creep on you. They'll do it.
Yeah, nah.
In the words of Swoozy, there's online ninjas out there.
They
man.
really are.
Yeah, they're gonna.
They would never
dig
find
deep.
it. No.
Okay, so 2 years. So it took you leaving high school so you can reinvent yourself.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then every introduction was I'm Skip.
Yeah. And then so at the time I had my dance group, and we were called Level Link. Like it was like a collaborative group of 4 different dance groups, and we were all in one.
This was in Oakland?
It was like Oakland, Hayward,
Yeah.
San Leandro, and the city. That's for like all the different.
And you've always been dancing.
Kind of.
Like
was,
what made you go serious into like
I
this
mean,
is my dance crew?
I think I liked it more because I like remember I was saying like the whole friends thing.
Of course,
like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, I've got homies now, and like we're all interested in the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it's just like being around people that were interested in the same thing, and they're all cool people. It was really heartwarming.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
and then on top of that, like I was doing the editing for the videos, so it was just fun, like being able to film and edit those videos, you know?
Yeah.
And so...
And then caleon.
So I was going by Skip at the time. I wanted to come up with some type of name for my production name.
Oh, okay.
And me and a close friend of mine at the time were brainstorming names. And he was just like what kind of, what are you trying to go for? Like something that's original, something that's clean, something that's not too difficult, pretty simple. And we were just brainstorming, and then I was like, Cali's very own, like Caleon Pro, Cali's very own production. And so I was going by Caleon Pro at the time, and time would move forward, and I started doing the music thing.
Yeah.
And I ended up making a group called Fox Society, like with like 3 of my other friends, and everyone in the group had Fox as their last name.
Oh, it was like an ASAP thing.
Yeah. And so like
Fox Mob.
it was Caleon Fox, Chubbs Fox, Izzy Fox, and Trent Fox.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
And then I just kind of stuck with that from there.
You know what's also cool about having a bunch of different names is that when someone addresses you, you know exactly how they know you from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When your mom calls you your name, that's very different. You'll know immediately versus some other dude calling you Skip. You're like, well, I know where you know me from.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, I know that they've been there from day one.
Yeah.
From the get-go.
I feel like people are gonna start calling you Skip now.
Nah.
They're gonna be like, we're
The
gonna
return of
act.
Skip?
Yeah, the return of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the nickname used to go by. I've been around.
Okay, so like we always try to like wrap up the discussion with like to touch on spirituality, you know. Did you when you were living, especially with your grandma, I feel like when you have when you're around grandparents, they're more spiritual.
They are.
So how did that influence, or did you guys go through a spiritual phase where you're like a spiritual high when you're with your grandparents, and then outside of being alone, or?
Well, when I was young, I mean, so all my dad's side of the family live in the East Coast.
Okay.
They live in New York, they live in Florida, and
Oh,
they live
wow.
in Jamaica. And I used to go to Florida every year when I was younger, until I was, I think, 13 or 12 because of an incident.
Wow.
Okay, I love how vague.
I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
Okay. I like to have people on the edge of their seats.
I'm on my edge.
Yeah.
They're on the edge, man.
He's edging. Yeah.
All right, man. All right. So, I was at my grandma's house, and my uncle, Uncle Milton, Megawatts,
Okay.
he had a dog, that stayed at the house, and that dog was crazy. Like she was
Like you could tell when you meet that dog that something's wrong with this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just energy, man.
She's got her own plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was one night that they were just like, all right, you know, let's put Molly in the crate. That was her name, Molly. And
is that her nickname or like a government name?
The God. I'm putting her on blast because I don't care about her, bro. Fuck her. But
yeah.
It's so
They put her in the crate.
Put her in the crate, and so I volunteered to do it. And so I got a cookie, and I went in her crate to put it under her pillow.
Okay.
And she came in with me, and you know, I'm trying to get out the crate, and we were stuck in the crate. And so while we were in the crate, I looked over, and she was snarling at me.
Oh shit!
And then she just came over and she bit me on my face.
What?
Yeah. And so like she's on my face like this.
How old are you?
Like 12. Like I was young, like it's 12 or 13 or something.
It would be traumatizing now, but to be 12.
Yeah.
And have a dog bite you in the face.
And so like I pushed the crate off of me, and I'm just like, oh, get off me. And like I'm moving, and
the dog
she's
is
still on my face.
What kind of dog was this?
A golden retriever.
What?
I know. That's
Airbud was biting your face?
Airbud, bro.
Motherfucker.
Bear Bud out here booling.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, and like my cousins came, and they hit her with a broom, and she finally got off of me. And it was crazy because like it was so much adrenaline, I didn't even realize what was going on.
Yeah.
And like I walked in the house, and like my grandma started screaming, and she was like, "Oh my God,
your face!"
And she's because she's Jamaican, so she was like screaming in patois. And like I walk in the bathroom, and I like my whole face is just covered in blood, and I was just like, oh, I'm bleeding. And then I didn't like react to it or anything
because you're still on like the nerves. You don't even feel it yet.
Exactly. And then finally like my cousin came in, he's like, we got to go to the hospital because you got to get stitches. And that's when I started crying.
Yeah.
And so we went to the hospital, and it was a bite like right here on my eye.
You could have been blind.
Yeah, the doctor said if I didn't move, she would have got my eye.
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You took that cookie back. You're like, you don't deserve this.
Yeah. Man. I fucked that cookie up.
That's insane.
And my mom was like, you're not going back over there.
But you don't you don't have like a scar or anything. So like you
it's
healed
just
up.
It's a little scar like on my cheek.
Yeah, I kind of see it.
Yeah, like once you see it, you'll see it.
But it's not like something that
crazy.
someone sees.
Yeah.
That's good.
So they did a fine job.
They did a good
stitches.
job.
Yeah.
So then because of that, you're like,
no more
East Coast.
Right.
Do not mess with the East Coast.
So, yeah, but
yeah.
I would say like we used to go to church every Sunday kind of thing.
Way.
But I mean, I was a kid, and it was early. Like we used to go from like 7 a.m. until like 6 p.m.
Oh man.
And so like I'd be in there just like
it was like Coachella, but
church. Just church.
Churchella. Just a whole day.
Yeah, man.
But I with the spiritual journey, with the experience that I told you that I've gone through, I feel like it started with our dog.
Okay.
That's where I feel like, because like I said, because me and my mom, we're all my mom and my brother, and my brother's starting to like kind of catch on to it, but with me and my mom, we're really spiritual. And so like we have a lot of like talks about like the experiences that we go through. We look at from a spiritual perspective. So it makes it a lot easier to kind of deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, like when it's something negative, we try to look at it as something that it's like a lesson.
Yeah, like what can we pull out of this?
Exactly.
Because everything, you know, if you look at it like that, everything has some sort of lesson to be learned, some sort of positive out of even the most seemingly negative kind of thing.
God. Yeah, because I'll tell you, like moving out here.
Was it tough?
That's hard, man.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was not good. It was not tight.
Just in general, like finding a place and all that?
It was so much. Like I had an incident with the police.
What?
My car broke down.
How quickly did you have an incident with the police when you came here? They're like, welcome to LA.
It was probably like a week in.
Oh my God.
Like it was crazy. Like it was, because that was my first time like dealing with something like that.
So what happened?
Wow.
So I was leaving my friend's house. Like it was like 10 in the morning, and I was leaving her house, and I pulled up to a intersection, and like the police pulled up, and like he did the gesture to let me go, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm about to get pulled over."
Yeah.
And so I make a right, and he makes a right, and then he turns the lights on, and so I pull over. And, I turn the engine on, and one of the police come out. He's like, put your hands on your head. Come on, put your hands on your head.
Whoa.
And, like, he had his hand on his holster. And so I'm just like, oh, okay. And so like I put my hands up, and then like he's like knocking on my window. He's like, keep your hands on your head. And then I'm just like, okay, like I've got my hands on my head, you know.
Yeah.
And so the other cop like walks over to me, and like he's kind of cool, you know, whatever. And then the other cop's like, roll the window down. And like I kept my hands on my head though, because I'm just like, I'm not trying to reach. And so like I looked at the other cop. I'm like, hey, like because these are manual windows. Like if I reach over, am I gonna be good? And he's like, oh, you're gonna be good. It's okay. And it's like I reached over and like I'm rolling the window down. He's like, put your hand back on your head. And like he had his hand on his holster, and I'm just like, oh my God. And then so I'm talking to the other guy, and he's like, you know what you got pulled over for? And I'm just like, nah, like what is it? And then he's like, your front license plate's missing. And I was just like,
so that you put your really that aggro for a license plate?
License plate.
Jeez, man, that's terrifying.
Yeah, and it was just like, cause like I said, I've dealt with police, like I've gone through incidents and whatnot, but I've been, you know, my parents have taught me like, you know, whenever police pull you over,
play that shit safe.
For one, you have to play it safe, and like for me being black, you have to really be careful with how you react and what you say and what you do. Like, just me reaching over could have me get shot or anything, you know? And so like, it's like just making sure that I just breathe and just take things slowly and remain calm. Cause
it's almost like you have to calm the police down. It's like, isn't that your job?
Yeah, that's I mean, that's what it is, you know?
That thing of not being given the benefit of the doubt has to be so aggravating on a daily basis.
It is. I mean, like I said, I looked, like after the incident went by cool. Like after that guy, like the other cop was cool. Like he was like, he was cool.
Luckily he was there. Yeah,
exactly. And so that's how I viewed it. Like,
of course,
I went through it, and that whole day was just trash. Cause it's funny, cause my car crashed. Like it died later on that day. But
this was not a great day for you.
It was terrible. But to look at the police incident, like I was talking to my mom about it, cause like that whole day, like I was just totally defeated. Like I was just quiet, and like because I was just thinking everything through, like trying to, like I said, give myself that self-talk. And then me, Vila, and his friend Eunice, we went out to lunch, and like we were all just chilling, and that kind of helped me feel better. But how I looked at it as is that front license plate has not, like it got stolen years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember my mom telling me like, hey, you know, are you gonna deal with that? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll do it. But I didn't. And that happened. And that could have been prevented if I dealt with it. You know what I mean? And so I looked at it as, you know, from a spiritual perspective, I looked at it as a lesson to stop procrastinating.
That's true.
And to be thankful that it was not 2 shitty cops, but I had 1 cool cop. Because they could have both been shitty. And things could have gotten way worse. And so like I was just thankful, because I'm like, okay, God, like I see that you're trying to teach me something, and I've got it. Like I'm gonna make sure like I'm working on my procrastination. You know, even though he had to shake me up for me to learn that lesson. You know what I mean? But he shook me. He didn't shake me too much to where things could have been way worse.
Nothing happened that was irreversible at that point.
Exactly.
I hate when things happen to you, when like karma hits you and you're just sitting there in the middle of everything going wrong, and you're just like, I got it, God. I got it.
Yeah,
like,
right. Just like, please stop it.
Yeah, let's stop. I got it. I won't be a piece of shit anymore.
Right, exactly.
Like, let's just stop the suffering.
Exactly. You know? That's why, like, I try to be cool, people. You know, like I really try my best to not allow like ego to take over, pride to take over. And like I said, going back to looking at other people's craft, their music videos, like not looking at it as, oh, that's trash. You know, I just look at it as, oh, okay, you know, that's what they do. Cool. I'm not interested in it, and that's okay. But I'm not going to downsize it at all or downplay it, you know, because that's what they're doing.
It takes a lot to say that, because I look at everyone's work and
he's
I'm
a very pessimistic person.
Like, fuck this guy.
Right.
I'm like, I hope this guy's camera stops working.
It's so easy to do that. You know, it's so easy. You know, and
especially the internet, it's like built for
that. I know, man, and it takes a lot to be like, all right, let's not be a douche. Let's, you know.
But yeah, it's, I mean, like I said, I just try to set that example.
For sure.
Right. You know, I try to set that example, but I try to do that for me. Because I'm like, I'm not going to get anything good out of talking shit about someone that's trying to do their thing.
It's just counterproductive. It wastes your time that you could be working on something.
Energy, bro. Energy being wasted.
Energy is important. Hey, man, I want to thank you so much for coming through, bro. It really means a lot.
Are you working on anything specific that we should all know about, other than the usual? Oh shit. Oh god. Okay. That's your camera right there, man. They know. The Fox Crew, aka Skip.
FOX, man. No swag, no swag. They didn't have to lie, you feel me? Shout out to my boys. Shout out to FO. We to the skies, man. You feel me? You know what it is, man. Be my brother. Be shout out to my boy 94. Hey, but yeah. My bad. I get into.
No, I loved it. I loved it.
Man.
Yeah, I loved it.
My swag levels just went negative.
Yeah.
But ask me again. I'm sorry.
Is there anything big you're any like future projects you're working on or that we should know about? A lot of music. Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to be a very interesting transition that you guys are going to see me go through.
Okay. We're excited to be on that ride with you, man.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Best of luck of everything, and welcome to LA.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
I feel like there was like an echo. Oh, that's cool.
I don't think so. Like a little bit of one?
I think so.
From what? I mean, come on. He took the glasses off on his own. That's how into it. We told you that was going to happen, and it happened.
Yeah, I doing the research on him, I couldn't really find too much information.
Because he is an elusive person, and honestly, on the internet, that's not. I feel like exploited enough because musicians and stuff do that, right? Like Prince or somebody like that. You don't know what he's up to, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of, and he was probably just sitting home eating cereal. But the fact that you don't know that and he's not putting it on Snapchat, you start thinking like, well, what is he doing in there? So I think Caleon does a good job with all his nicknames. He, by the way, off camera didn't tell us his real name either. So we don't know. We only know him as Caleon Fox and Skip. That's it. That's all we know.
He introduced when I walked up when he came outside the apartment. I was like, "Hey, Ali." He was like, "Caleon." I was like,
so
all right.
He's invested in the mystery. Highly invested in the mystery. Yeah. But I mean, we got into a lot of things, and I'm really glad that we got into the fact that having a bunch of different influences and interests, and also being able to watch things and learn and take away things that you both like and don't like as an artist and a performer from someone or from something without having to shit on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being able to absorb what you need and what you don't want out of something, I think, is really important. I'm glad he brought that up.
I'm glad that we were able to have him. There's a guy that's on the come up, every time he puts something out, it's more creative, more interesting. And I think he's one of those guys you just got to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely.
Because he's going to be doing some really cool stuff real soon,
Yeah. So, I mean, pumped. I'm pumped. I'm pumped to be back.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, and if you're in the car, thank you for listening.
Yes.
If you're at work, I hope we're saving you.
And you can get this podcast, by the way, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play. So I'm
still trying to figure out Spotify. I still can't figure out how to get up on Spotify.
Well, that's what our producer's for. We'll harass him after this. So anyway, we're everywhere, guys, and just tell your friends about us. You know what I mean? We got a lot of people listening in and watching, but you spread the word, let people know.
And you have to subscribe. You know, like if you enjoy this, just
don't be a lurker. We don't post enough for it to be annoying.
Yeah. I think for us to be able to reach out to bigger creators,
right?
They look at our numbers, they're like, 50K, I'm not going to waste my time. I got like millions, Even with
some people look at that and they look at the content and they go, you know what, this is legit stuff, because we've had a lot of people who have incredible numbers come out. Yeah. So if you guys think that we should interview a certain person, hit up that person on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and let them know. Yeah.
And then tag us, because then if I favorite it, it means this is someone that I want. If I don't favorite your tweet, when you tag a potential guest, it means I don't fuck with them or I don't want them.
And as always, our final sign off is take a screenshot of this episode and just find the worst possible face that Ali is doing and
Impossible. All my faces are
and make sure that I'll make sure to retweet the shit out of it. I want to embarrass him online, so make sure hashtag what's it, apartment face, and just make sure you get the worst photo of this guy. That being said, thank you guys.
People actually did that last time.
They did. I loved it. I got so much joy out of it.
I was like, why are these screenshots coming in right now? But anyway,
it's fantastic. So anyway, thank you guys for listening in, as always, and being the dopest audience of all time.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being our audience. And lastly, if you support our show, we do this all out of our own pocket.
Yep.
Make sure you hit up our Patreon.
Yep. $1.
$1.
And you get deleted footage.
Mm-hmm. You get all those bonus scenes. It's like a DVD.
Yeah.
Get those extras.
And I feel like there might be some from this episode.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But until next time, I'm Asif Ali. This is
Ali Baluch.
We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Dope.